This is how we're gonna make nitro driving great again.
Hello, and thank you for calling Redcat Racing. All calls may be monitored for training and quality purposes.
You know, when people ask me what I'm here to do, I tell them, listen, I'm not here to talk, I'm here to tune an RC.
Man, you know, don't fucking talk to me. I'm here to train. I'm not here to talk. Now's the time for your fucking listen to your bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
But in this case, I'm here to tune, and I'm here to drink protein. That's exactly what I'm doing. First, let's drink some protein. Alright, now I'm here to talk. This is part 3 of my Redcat Racing Nitro Earthquake. This is a big block monster truck. I paid only about $128 for this. It seems to be in fantastic condition now that I fixed everything up. I spent no money on the repairs, but there was an issue with the tune. Now, on the second part, you did notice that it did bog down when I hit it. You know, basically right before it shifted to second gear, there was a noticeable bog down. Actually, some of the time it even turned off. I had to go and get it. Pretty embarrassing when you have to go fetch your own nitro truck, right? Well, the only issue is it turns off when it goes to about second gear. I can tell it bogs down and sometimes even shuts off. I'm not quite sure what is going on. I'm going to be doing the pinch test. This is a classic way on how to tune your nitros. Basically, I'm going to go through it right now. You pinch the fuel line and then you wait for how long it takes for the engine to speed up before it turns off. It should take about 3 to 4 seconds between the time when you pinch the fuel line and the engine tends to lean out and shut off. That is a good sign that your low speed needle is correctly tuned. We're gonna do this right now. Let's see the results we get. The only problem is I ran out of nitro fuel. Guess what? Nitro RC cars are no different than women. You gotta buy them stuff. So right now, let's go to the hobby store. We're gonna see how expensive some of the current nitro fuel is and see how much I'm actually gonna get raped right now. This is Brownie's Hobbies in Staten Island, New York, basically by the Bayonne Bridge. Let's see how much I'm gonna get raped by right now. They have a pretty cool display here, a whole bunch of boxes, you know, blah, blah, blah. I basically only come here to buy nitro fuel and maybe a couple odds and ends at best. Here it is, the nitro fuel I got. Honestly, I was extremely surprised. Last time I bought a gallon just like this, it was about $47 after tax. I only paid 38 bucks today. That means I basically paid 35 for a gallon of the best race fuel you can get. This is Byron Originals, 20% nitro, 12% oil content. Now, I've always been running a 16% oil content in this Redcat, but it's just a little bit too much oil. It bogs down. 12% is fine. I asked the hobby store owner, how come the fuel's gotten so much cheaper? I mean, I told him I remember paying, you know, more than $10 extra for the same exact fuel about a year and a half ago. And he told me there was some kind of an issue with the component parts that go into making fuel over in China. Thank God our interaction with China has stabilized more or less depending on which side you're on. But guess what? Nitro fuel is now cheap again. Now on this bottle it says the component elements that go into making it are pure virgin methanol and 99.9% pure nitromethane. So they're blended together. That's how you get nitro fuel. Obviously, the more nitromethane you have, the higher your nitro content. 20% is pretty moderate. It's good. And this is a 12% oil content, which means it is a little bit lower oil content than I normally use. And if you saw the last video, there was a whole bunch of oil coming out of the exhaust. Now, yes, the more oil you have, generally the cooler your RCs run. But 12% is still relatively safe. People that race nitro RCs, they're usually in the 7 to, I would say, around 8% oil content. So even 12% here is plenty. It's more than enough. Honestly, I would say it's still overkill, but it's safe. It's good to go. I trust this fuel. I've been using this for years, probably over a decade now, and I've never had any issues with this at all. The motors seem to be fine. You could even leave this fuel inside the gas tank for like a month or two and it should be fine. I've done that, no issues at all. Okay, so the first thing we need to know when tuning any nitro engine, you want to know your baseline factory needle settings. Now, I checked the instruction manual that came with my Redcat. It wasn't in there. I looked it up online. It was pretty much all over the place. There are a couple editions of this SH21 engine, so I figured why not call Redcat support. This would be a good way to test to see how quick they actually are on the line, and at least we'll have the factory needle settings straight from them for us to begin tuning.
Hello, and thank you for calling Redcat Racing. All calls may be monitored for training and quality purposes. Please listen carefully as our menu options have changed. If you know the extension of the person you are trying to reach, please enter it now. If you are a Redcat Racing dealer or would like to become a Redcat Racing dealer, please press 1 now. For customer service, technical support, or to check on the status of an order, please press 2 now.
Hi, this is Richie. Can I help you?
Yes, hi, good afternoon. I'm looking for some information. I'm just looking for the factory needle settings on one of your nitro engines.
Okay, which one are you looking for?
This is the Earthquake 3.5. The one with the .21 SH engine?
Okay. So the starting needle settings that they come from the factory is 4 turns out on the high-speed needle.
Okay.
And 2.5 turns on the low-speed needle.
Okay. All right, thank you so much.
Okay? Yeah, no problem.
You have a great day, thanks.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, guys, I got that information extremely fast. I was surprised. Honestly, this was a better call to tech support for Redcat than I've ever had calling Traxxas years ago. And by the way, check out this Traxxas t-maxx powered airplane. Or hold on, maybe this is an airplane powered by a Traxxas. That's a good question. I'm not quite sure what this is, but there's a whole story on this coming up soon. Let's also check my settings for the high-speed needle. The Redcat customer support tech did say it should be 4 turns out from close. So let's see what I've been running it at. Half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. Okay, so it's closed right over here. So basically I've been running at about 3.25 turn. Seems to be closed right about here. I'm going to count 4 full turns out. Half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. Okay, so now we have the carburetor set to the factory needle settings as recommended by the Redcat customer support. Now let's go begin tuning. This is a good baseline where you always want to start off at. Let's check what I have the low speed needle set to based on the tune I was running before. The low speed needle is this thing right over here. I'm just going to turn it in and see how many turns it takes to close. Redcat said it should be 2.5 turns out from close. So let's see how many turns this is going to take me. I'm going to do this in half turn increments. Half. 1 turn. Okay, so it's closed right now. So I had it set to about 1.25 turn, so completely off from the Redcat setting, although it seemed to run just fine. Let's now turn it out exactly 2.5 turns as they recommended from the closed position. Half. 1 turn. 1.5. 2 full turns. Okay, we got 2.5 turns out from close on the low speed needle as recommended by the customer support tech from Redcat. Okay, first start on the factory needle settings. System is on. Let's prime the engine a little bit. Okay, I see fuel just beginning to enter the car. We're gonna do a couple more. That should be good. Should fire right up, hopefully. I think the factory needle settings are just extremely rich. The thing doesn't idle well. It turns off without giving it some throttle. The engine coolant head is still not even that warm. Let's give it a run, see if I can hit the second gear, see if it bogs down like it used to before. These are the factory needle settings as recommended by Redcat. Okay, so it shifted to second gear. Let's make it our way back. saw that drive, it drove pretty good. It shifted to second gear, didn't bog down that much other than when it was in low speeds. That's a good indicator that our low speed needle is still a little bit off. A good way to test it, and a common traditional Nitro guru method, is the pinch test. Basically what you do is you pinch the fuel line with your fingers like this, or a special fuel line stopper if you have a Traxxas, and then you're gonna count how many seconds it takes for the engine to run once you cut off its fuel supply. Now, of course, this method works the best and is pretty accurate when you have no variables like air leaks, gaps, vacuum leaks, or, you know, giant air pockets like I have in my fuel line. Maybe this is not going to be as effective until I replace the fuel line. But basically, you're going to pinch the fuel line. You're going to count how many seconds it takes for your engine to starve of fuel and die. The ideal range should be about 3 to 5 seconds. Based on the results we get, we'll make a determination whether it should be richened or leaned out. If your engine turns off too fast, let's say under 2 seconds, that means your low speed needle is too lean. It's not getting enough fuel. Let's see what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, guys, you saw that. I held the fuel line pinched and it literally ran for 10 seconds. That means our low speed needle is extremely rich. I'm gonna be making a quarter turn to close it, which is gonna be to the right clockwise to lean it out. Let's start it up again. You want the fuel to cycle, and then we're gonna repeat the same test and count how many seconds it's gonna take. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This time it took about 8 seconds to turn off. Therefore, I'm going to make another quarter turn adjustment to close it out, which means lean it out clockwise. You piece of shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we got down to 6 seconds. It just came back after a run. I wanted to show you guys, look at all the bubbles in the fuel line. I mean, this is extreme. You could literally see them moving back. I think what's going on is when I'm coming back from a run, the fuel tank is actually a little bit open. It is not fully shut, so when I actually close it, you can hear it close. It makes some noise, it makes a movement. I mean, there's like a little snap when I close it. When a car comes back, the fuel tank is always a little bit open from the vibrations. I think that is really what's throwing off my tune. So until I replace the fuel tank and get rid of this vacuum issue, I'm not gonna get rid of these air bubbles in the fuel lines. So no matter what adjustments I make right now, it's always gonna be running a little unpredictable at the higher RPMs, just because it's demanding extra fuel and extra fuel line pressure that needs to be created by the tank with a vacuum. But since this is opening up, I'm pretty sure, 100% confidence here, I don't even need a lifeline on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, that this is the situation. You're not supposed to have this many air bubbles in the fuel line. Another sign the fuel tank is not pressurized is all the fuel on the back of this chassis. Look at that. It's basically in the front, in the back, it's everywhere. Trust me, I did not spill fuel when I was fueling this earlier. Saving money on this Nitro fuel made me want to buy something for myself, so I decided to try out the new Burger King Dollar Taco. That's right, guys, you heard it. Burger King has a taco for $1. I can't find any Taco Bell around here anymore, so Burger King it is.
Hi, can I help you?
Yes, hello. Could I have 2 of the tacos? Just that.
Just 2 tacos?
Yeah, just 2 tacos.
Okay, you can drive around.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Here we go, 2 Burger King tacos, $2.18. This is probably the lightest bag I've ever felt. It feels like it's lighter than some small fries from McDonald's. Now, just in case something goes wrong, I also got some of my favorite ginger root. You guys should take this if you have digestive problems, a vitamin chop. This is really good for digestion. It has a good soothing effect. Really helps you keep your food down in case you have a stomach ache after eating some Burger King tacos. But that's the kind of stuff I do for you guys, right? Let's take it out of the bag. Not expecting much. Here it goes. Oh man, it is smaller than I actually thought. This is a hard taco. This is it. It's a little bit warm on the inside. Looks pretty weird and terrible. Let me open this up actually. This is it. Holy moly. Yep, basically a hard taco with a little bit of cheese, maybe like 3 little granules of cheese, bunch of weird looking lettuce, and beef. Let's give it a try. If you're wondering how it tastes exactly like it looks. You decide for yourself. The top is overly crispy. I mean, it's basically like a chip right here on the top. It just flakes off. The beef itself seems to be a little bit over seasoned. It's saltier and spicier than the Taco Bell beef taco. Yep, I can't even... Oh my God, I'm about to choke. Alright, it's good, it's fine. I'm okay, guys. Do I recommend this taco? Yeah, you should get it to see for yourself how terrible it is so you never go back there again for another taco. I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say. I ate basically the whole taco. I was hungry. I was happy. I saved some money on Nitro fuel. Am I gonna eat the second one? Probably. I mean, I don't want this food to go to waste, right?